All right, what's up, y'all? What's happening, everybody? So I want to go over something real quick. There's a point in this video where you're gonna see that I installed this 4-gauge wire, and it says here that it's good for amplifiers up to 1750 watts. Look disputed, do your own math. I have used this kit before on plenty of things. I have purchased this at least once, I think probably 2, maybe 3 times for other people's car. Never had an issue at all. So these are both the 6000 series. Okay, this is the 4-gauge kit, and it comes with this 4-gauge set here. It comes with a set of RCAs. I think they're about like 20 foot long, just for 2. It does come with some ferrules and stuff like that, some accessories there. It comes with, I forget how much, speaker wire. Let's see, maybe on the box it says. Let's look. I don't have any glasses, but speaker wire. I think that's 30 foot of speaker wire, and it comes with probably 30 foot, 25, 30 foot of 16 gauge remote wire. All right. Now with the 0 gauge kit, you only get a spool of 16 gauge remote wire. Like I said, I think that's somewhere around 20 to 30 feet, whatever, something like that. You do get some lugs, like you did with the 4-gauge kit, and you get a couple things. All right, but this is what I wanted to show you here. So let me turn that back around again. Now this says here that the 4-gauge is good for 1750 watts. If it was really short, probably. Do math, look at the amperage charts, blah, 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 blah. You can figure that all out on your own. My amp that I bought comes to accept 0 gauge wire. And I was hemming and hawing and thinking about it, and I obviously went up to 0 gauge. Now, this is something I want you guys to see. There's your 300 amp 0 gauge fuse block next to the 175 amp 4-gauge fuse block. I mean, big difference in size, correct, as it should be, 0 to then. Now, just for ha-has, let's go ahead and measure, zero out, how big 0 gauge is here. Now, this isn't completely scientific, blah, 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 but that's about 6.3 for millimeters. Is that in millimeters? I don't have my glasses on, mate. Oh, sorry. Let's switch that to millimeters. That's about 16.5 millimeters thick. And the 0 or the 4-gauge is about 9.64 millimeters. So it's substantially different. I mean, we want to look at wire. You can see here's a 0 gauge, here's the 4-gauge. All right, so it's clearly meant to throughput a lot more amperage, right? Power. And let's bring these a little closer because I think I'm far out. But there's your difference in the 0 gauge to the 4-gauge. And as I said, I am not, let me be clear, I am not knocking this amp kit. It is a great amp kit. I have used it before, just with the plans and then for further expansion, if I want to add more or whatever, I chose to upgrade to the 0 gauge. So I got to get all of this put back away and then I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this. I remember I had made this block the bolt to my fender, or to my inner fender of my truck, and I'm not sure if this is still gonna work on this 1 gauge. It looks like it will, but I do have to bolt it up and see and make sure that it is still working. If it still works, then dope. If not, I'll have to remake another one. It was no big deal. You guys seen how easy this was to make. We can go back to it, or you can find it somewhere and see it was pretty simple. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get this packaged up and a couple other things, and we'll come back and start slanging this wire right on through to the other side. Alright, so let's go over something here. I'm going to mount my fuse block right here. Now, what I did was I had some of that plastic PVC. You see it's like 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm not done with this, but I just wanted to show you. I'm gonna, I went down to the hardware store and I got myself some hardware. Alright, let's get all of that stuff out. Okay, so I went down to the hardware store. I went and got 2 of these little bolts with little nuts and 4 washers, appropriate size washers. Okay, now just quickly let me assemble this for you. So that's going to be my backside. So I got a bolt and 1 washer on the backside that's going through, and then I have my fuse box, put that through, and then another washer and a little nut to crimp that down. Alright, now these are nylock nuts, just so you know. So let's do the same thing with the other side so that it's together. You gotta pause that. You can't have music playing. You can't have music playing.
Yeah, this is move away from the fan.
Alright, so she's bolted together. Now, on the back side, because those are gonna sit kind of not flush, but you know, you can see when they're pulled back, they're a little off. All right, I went and got some of these nylon spacers. I got 2 of those, and take my bolt. I went and got some, I think these are 8 by 125 thread. They're kind of long, but they're stainless and they're button heads. So put those through the front side, and now what we have is a fuse block holder, and it's going to keep this off of the body, about 1/4 of an inch on the backhand side. So that's basically my fuse block holder right there, as you can see. All right, and then I'll let you see it from the side. You see how it's gonna remain off of the body. Okay, so that's the setup for that. Now I'm not completely done with this. I am going, oh man, okay, I see it. So what I'm gonna do now is disassemble all of this. I like how it laid out. Okay, I'll give you some quick dimensions too, just in case you want to do this the way I did. Now this works for my car, and like I said, this is just something you could do on your own for whatever you want. But this overall is 4 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. I forget how far that is, but you can see I marked it. All right, and then I drilled my holes. It did come up a tad bit because I didn't center punch, I just used a drill, but I did center punch on these ones, and I kind of used my knife to open that up a little bit on the back, but I kind of just took my time and laid it out, okay? Working all off of one edge. Whenever you're laying something out, work off of one edge. So I took my square and then I drew this line straight across this way while pulling it that way, and then extended the blade out and then got that straight line down, so I got my center line. And then here and here I measured from the center out 1.5, and then took a 32nd away. That's half of a 16th, and did the same thing on the same side, and it equaled out to be 2 15/16. All right, or you can just do it 3 and then drill a hole a tad bit bigger. But anyway, that's what I did to do this. Now I am going to take the sander and I'm going to round these edges over and just make it look a little more professional real quick, and then we're going to continue on with doing this install. I got a lot of stuff to do in a little bit of time, and I got plans in the morning, so I got to get rolling. All right, catch up with y'all shortly. All right, y'all, welcome back. Last night we went over the difference between 4 gauge and the 0 gauge wire that I swapped out in the truck. Got the 0 gauge. What you hiding in here? I'll zoom in so you can see. Had to make a new fuse block holder for that big, the full size A&L fuse holder. This one's got a 300 amp fuse in it. I'm gonna switch that out to I think 200 amp, because I think I only need like 175. So either I might even go to 150, because I don't think I'm gonna be yanking on it that hard anyway. I did buy some, I just ordered some new terminals for the batteries. We'll get to those when they come in here, but let me zoom in here. You guys see where we're at so far. Can I can't zoom on this side. Let me swap a route. All right. So there you have it. There's the new fuse, the the A&L holder right there, and we'll go zoom around, get inside. I'm gonna move the seat out because trying to run that 0 gauge wire through the truck, it's a big wire, so clearly it's substantially more larger than a 4 gauge, and I do have I'll take a screenshot to show you that difference in this video real quick. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this front seat plucked out, get that 0 gauge strung through the truck where it's not, you know, jamming up the carpet and looking like trash. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right, Josh, sorry for the lawnmower. My neighbor's cutting his lawn. Ain't nothing I can do about that, but let's go ahead and get this knocked out. Go ahead and pluck the seat out. All right, 2 14-mil bolts, and then we have to scoot the seat forward, and then once we do that, we can go ahead and get that battery terminal disconnected. But all right, and then we got those 2 bolts right there, got to come out. Boom, boom. And then we're gonna lean that seat forward and get the connections underneath after I disconnect the battery. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and try to run the wire this way through and on back, but this B pillar has to come off, so let's go ahead and get that pulled. Start by yoking that. All right, we do the same thing on the back side. All right, there you go. And then go ahead and that plucked out. Get that. Alright, that pulled off. Alright, so now we got that pulled out. Let's see what we can do about getting this wire run through here. Like I said, I want the wire to go underneath and back one of my clips. Alright, so I'm trying to figure how it's gonna move that. I don't know. That's a pretty thick wire. I mean, we're only looking at maybe a 1/4 inch if I cut the pattern underneath. So actually, what I'm thinking about doing is possibly moving this wire out of this harness because it's thinner. Put that on that side, and then running the 0 gauge inside here. So let me bring you around a little further so I can show you. I'm thinking about pulling this wire and put this wire. Let me pluck this out for a second. So this wire is a lot thinner, right? And if I take this and get that on the outside there, that would be like running the 4 gauge there. And then if I took the 0 gauge and just run the 0 gauge inside of these plastic clips, I think, oh yeah, look at that. I think that is the ticket, my mans. That's the way we're gonna do this. The 0 gauge is going inside the original clips. I'm gonna take this piece off, just this one piece here off, maybe some more loom on the backside, but let's go ahead and get that out of there. All right, oh, so they didn't use Tesla tape all the way through. That sucks because I don't have any Tesla tape, but what I do have is regular tape. So it's just a little short section where there's not Tesla tape. So that's originally what it looked like. Let me get this kind of out of the way. Alright, so that's basically how that looks originally. Alright. Pow. Alright, so we got that. We like that.
Hey, babe.
Hey, beautiful. So like I said, we're gonna remove this here. We're gonna go get some black tape and we're gonna tape that up so that we can hide that along the side of, and we're gonna do that all the way through the back. All right, so if we didn't see in the other part of the video, this loom was here and this sat inside here. These wires all together pretty much somewhat equals about the diameter of a 4 gauge. So the 4 gauge sat outside here and was perfectly fine. Well, if I pull this out here, this 0 gauge actually sits in there perfectly. So I'm gonna remove this, and I got a little more loom like this in the back to do, but I'm cool with that. That out of there. Electrical tape this, stick this on the outside, move this one on the outside, then we'll continue down the run, and then we shouldn't have to modify anything besides that there. So anyway, less chatter, more splatter. I'm gonna double wrap that. So I went around it once, and now I'm just gonna go around it again. All right, there you go. So set that there, set that there, and then let's go ahead and get this one plucked out. Get that pulled, and then set that just there. So that's super simple. Boom. And then let's go ahead and get that through, and then wire that through just like that. Clip down. Oh, I had to pin that back in. Clip that. All right. When the same goes on, it'll be the cover goes on it. It'll click it down anyway. So we're good there. And now this seal should go back on and be nicey. So let's go ahead and move to the back side and see if we can get the same exact thing done. And if so, man, that's gonna work out beautifully nicely beautiful, just like me. Okay, all right, so here we are in the back once again. Now this kind of sucks because this is a really long run with that, but it is what it is. So we got to do what we got to do. Let's go ahead and just flop that over. I started pulling that through that side. Here's the speaker wire that goes to this rear door over here, but we're gonna have to basically cut that tape right there, just some electrical tape, and then Alright. Now be very careful when you gotta cut this. I'm gonna go get some snips so I can cut that nice and easy. Alright, so I recommend when you gotta do this, you be very careful. You see what you're doing, you know what you're doing, and you have complete control of what you're doing. I'm gonna put that in there, and I'm only cutting exactly where I can see. Alright, now I'm gonna make sure there's no wire in there like such. Snippies, and then I'm gonna go around the back side and do the same thing over there. We'll get that run of tape. Alright, there we go. That section of wire out. I don't know what that section of tape was for, but it'll be alright. Alright, so I'm only gonna go from here to here for now, and then if I need to, I'll remove more trim here, but this wire goes in right here, and you'll see that when I go to do that. So going, start on the loom. I hope you guys can see that. All right, there we go. I think actually adding electrical tape like this is more secure to loom. The only thing with loom is loom that helps with crushing, like stepping on it, but since it's going to be between here, I'm not really worried about that. So, all right. So here's our wire again, and as we can see, we're just gonna kind of run this right up alongside that and push that through like that. All right, and hopefully All of those panels just set right over top of that. Hopefully I don't have to move. There we go. All right. And run that behind, and hopefully you guys can still see that, but I'll show you. It's just inside there. Clipped, put that underneath. All right, so I got a little extra light there. Now underneath the carpet here, I'm just gonna snake this wire on through in here. So here we go, and we're gonna go ahead and pull that through. All right, so we got that, and that's pretty big on that carpet over here, but we're gonna have to live with it. There ain't no way really around it. I don't want to drill any holes, so I'd rather it be like that than the other way. So we'll just fold that through, and I'm gonna go get the ground so I can do the same difference. So here's our ground, and what I'm gonna show you, I'll show you here on the outside, but we're gonna bolt this down right here like we did on the last one. Sorry, we're gonna bolt it here because that's the bolt hole for the seat belt. So let's go ahead and remove that. We'll have to go get the screws and stuff, but we're just gonna take this and put that there. This is pretty clean all the way around. Plus I'm using a flat washer, a lock washer, and then a nut. All right, and once we get that figured out position wise, then I'll tighten that up and put the bolt back through the seat. So let's go ahead and get this. Okay, so we got that figured out, kinda. Now this wire is pretty big, so once again, manipulating it is a different story. So I'll show you what I got going on over here afterwards, but let me go grab my ratchet so I can tighten that down. All right, so there we go. Now unfortunately you can't see this, but I'll show you afterwards. I'll show you a picture ruse. Alright, that works. We will eventually go to longer bolts so that I can extend the ground down. I'll show you that when we go there, but all right, so put that through, and then get this big boifer on through also. All right, so now we got that. All right. Now, I was gonna run this through this hole, but I do have the 2 power wires. So they say the best thing, if you have to cross a power, or if you have to, instead of running wire together like this, you want to cross it. So I'm gonna move this to this other hole so that I can cross that, or not be on top of it. So all right, there we go. So I like that, and I'm gonna go get a little piece of tube to put on this bottom side, just for any chafing. Okay, here's that little piece of tube. I'm just gonna put that on that bottom side so we don't have any chafing on that at any point in time. I mean, it's a speaker wire for a door speaker, so it shouldn't be a lot of heat that would get that hot, but we just want to add some protection there. Anywho, so there she goes. All right, so this is what I'm working with. This caulk is going to be bulky going in right there, man. It's big, and I don't want to. I don't know. I might have to run that wire on the top. Nah, I don't want to run it on the top side. I really don't. But let's look at what we got. I am going to here. I'm going to cut this back further so that doesn't, or I don't know. Do I have to cut? All right. There we go. Let's see how this looks now. We don't have nothing but a speaker wire there now. Close that. And that's pretty high, man. That's pretty high. I wonder if I should come back further and then have it just come over the top. I really don't like that. What can we do here? I can come up behind. I think that's what I might have to do. Is I just don't want the batter, or when I do the box, I guess I could keep the box away. Let's look at it. All right, yeah. So back out again. Keep on trying. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this cut and then run that wire up and through, out back. Yeah. All right. All right, and then let's go ahead and that cut. All right. Okay. Pow. So before I tape that, I'm just gonna check to see how this fits going up and through this way. So we continue through. This might work out better. I'd rather have a little bulge on the top side than here. So So we figured out the situation all the way through here. Now I got to pull this back panel off here. I'm going to set the camera up so we can see. We'll have to get the seat pulled out. But basically what's going to happen is the wire is going to run this way. I can see where the seat sits. It's going to come this way, and it's going to come over top and plug in to that, not underneath like I wanted it. I wanted everything to be underneath. This is going to have to come from the top side. And in order for me to run this wire through and in here nice and neatly, I have to remove this back seat, remove this cell pan, and then I can bring it up, around, and back through. All right, hope you guys can see, but here you got these two little panels. Let's go ahead and take those off. There's one on either side. Kind of give them a little, let's see how they clip in. All right, there we go. Got that. 14 and 14. All right, here's the two bolts. We'll just stick those there. Take that seat right on out. That goes behind, so I guess I'm gonna have to take this off. So we got that pulled out. The next step, unfortunately, is to possibly get the cell panel out so I can get this. I just need to get it through a short piece here so I can shoot back that way. But it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay. All right, 12 mil. Let me go get the size for that. All right. So you're and those are the two bolts I'm pulling to get that bracket out, just so it's out of my way for right now. All right, we got that. Now I do want to pluck this out so that I can get that wire up. And like I said, I really just need it. There's like right here is where these two wire, this wire is going to come out and come back around. But I have to do that. So I want my carpet to sit nice and right as it should. So so let's go ahead and do that. That is out. So we get that panel out. Man, there ain't a panel I haven't touched so far in this joint. So I'm gonna come back and remove the loom all the way up to about here, and I'm gonna tape that. So let's go ahead and get that pulled out. All right, we broke it, but that's fine. I only want to take the loom to about here, so let's go ahead and when I said that, that's fine. This clip isn't going to really be used anyway, so let's go ahead and cut that and then tape this harness back. Just gotta find me yo razor blade. Got me yo razor blade. All right. Once again, grab that tape, unravel her. All right.
Bring it there. And here's the ocean never use. All right, and we're just gonna. There we go. All right, let's go. And then let's go tape again. We'll start at the top here and work our way down. All right. Couple tapes here, and then kind of want this tape up there. All right, there we go.
Alright, there we go. So we got that wire harness. Actually, I almost wonder if I should run that on the inside. Does it make a difference? Nah, I don't think it makes a difference. There we go. We'll leave that be. And then now we can take this wire and get my pick, and then got that though. Let's put that in there and in there. All right, and so we got that in, and now that's good. I do want to pull. I don't like where I run the speaker wire through because it's just a little piece of it I want to stay in. We're gonna pull that back out and run the speaker wire through that spot there. It's good there. There we go. All right. Like I said, sharp crossover should eliminate noise. Alright. That's clipped in. That's clipped in. That's clipped in. That's all Gucci's. So, now, ground. I think we're just gonna go run that ground straight back through. So we'll run that this way and run that through. And I'm gonna put the seat bolt, put this back in so we can see where about this cable is running. I don't want it to interfere with the bracket. I don't want it near it or on it. I kind of want to sneak it right around, right through somehow. So let's look and see what we can do about that. All right. All right. Now, we're not going to bolt that down completely. It is going to have to come back off to put this panel back on. I just want to see where it is and how it's going to route. So, okay. Now, the seat's not going to sit on this, but all right, that, and I'm gonna tape that. I think I'm gonna use some tape, and that I like that. I like that. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna put that bolt through, and then get some tape and get that tape down. I'm gonna get a marker, mark this, and I believe I'm gonna put some heat shrink on here to add a little extra layer of protection on this, because it is gonna run like right. Okay, that works. Give me el momento. Let's go ahead and slide that on. All right, there we go. Now, because I'm gonna run that wire right over there, I just want a little bit of extra protection right there. So that's about where I want it. I'm gonna take the heat gun and get her heated up. All right, Now while it's warm, I want to kind of get it to lay like that. Hopefully when it cools, it'll be happy where it's at. So we got that like such. And we're gonna go ahead and take the get the panel. We're gonna get that back installed back on because I'm happy how that is. We're also, yeah, that works nice. It's cooling, and it's cooling with that angle there, so that's perfect. And now that it cools, it'll cool with that. All right. I am going to put a little slit right here in the carpet so that I can push those wires right through and bring them down right in here. Yeah, right here. Let's just go ahead and put a slit right there. Little slit, so boom, the wires can come right through. And all right, there we go. That, stick you back through and over here. Okay. That, I like that. There we go. And then now we got the two wires that are going to come down and go in right there. So I'm happy with that. And the seat is going to sit, if you guys can see, on these bumps here. And that's going to be above there. And if it does sit a little on top of that, it ain't gonna be no issue. But there's all of that. Gotta stop being like a rabbit around here. All right, so we got all of that where we want it. Put that back in there like such. Let's go ahead and get this bolted back up. All right. All right, let's go ahead and run those back down. All right, got that, and then let's go ahead and get the seat belt plugged in where we need it to be. Swap my socket back over if I can find it. All right. So that's done, that's out. I can get this down and get that bolted on, and I'll do a picture so you guys can see all of that. There we go.
There she go. She's locked down. And then we're gonna lock down the ground, tighten up my ground. All right, so that's all tightened down. And we got our 2 power wires that's gonna come and live in here. I like that the power wire is nice, or the ground is nice and short. So that's gonna be the Deliveroos. Okay, so let's go ahead. Alrighty. All right, I am gonna have to do a little cutout in here for this, and I'm gonna mark out where I want to cut it. Okay. So, as we can see, if you guys can see there, I'm gonna cut that right out with the jigsaw real quick. We'll come back and see if we can get this installed in here. Okay, so this is what I cut out. It was there. I cut that out, and that's just enough for that wire. Hopefully I don't have to trim it anymore. That will fit through. So. All right. All right, there we go. That's all locked in, and that's all locked in, and now I can put that back in, and you can't even tell there's wires running down this whole side. You cannot tell there's a wire running down this whole side as of right now. When we put the cover on, we'll double check, but man, I mean, that seemed to be the ticket. This comes through. A lot of guys don't want that to happen because they're worried about the seat, but I'm not. I think that that's just gonna go bloop. That's gonna go right into the amplifier, and this is gonna go right into the amplifier. So let's go ahead and put this seat bracket back in, and then I gotta find, oh, there we go. There we go. Alrighty, here we go. We are doing good. Yeah, that is nice. And I'm gonna take some pictures so we have that, and so you guys can see how that came out together. I want you to see that in case you're doing this, or so you have an idea of a way that you could do something if you were
looking to do that. But I should have taken a picture of that there, but we'll go here like this. Okay, and the ground just comes underneath here. I'm gonna do that. You can kind of see the way the ground works or goes. All right, and then, all right, so we're good there. That's all good. Let's put this back on, put the seat back in, put all of these covers back on. Alright, there we go. Alright. That's gonna be goods. Alright. Chances are, not chances are. There we go. And there. Pow, pow. All right. There you go. And let's make sure this closes. All right, that closes. I just want to make sure because they're it. So there we go. Put the clip in. That side in first. Clip down. And all right, there you go. So she's in, she's good. Look at that, huh? Now this is perfect. I know it's messy in here, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get this stuff all put back together and go from there. Lay around, but this should go in, and I think we'll be fine. But so I move the door back out, get that out, and there we go. That's good then. That. All right, there we go. We put all of that together. Go ahead, tuck back in. Now, let's go grab the that goes back here real quick. Here it is, real quick. And now, man, this is I'm excited about this. Dude, that is for all you guys who are doing that, doing the zero gauge. That is the ticket in the Tacoma. It looks nice. It's gonna come out sweet. That's the ticket. Boom. We hit on something. Let's go ahead and get these other ones in. So get this in. You guys can't see that, but this is just the front kick panel. All right. That's all in. Alright, so there's one spot here, and I believe it's from where the power for the seats and all of that goes through. I believe it's a little crowned right there, but man, if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. So, oh, there we go. I got it to clip in, so. Pow, you cannot tell now that there is a 1-gauge wire running straight back on this side here, and I am super proud of that. Anyway, let's go ahead, because I'm actually getting excited to wanting to hear this thing. It's been kind of taking